Hello fellow Kravists, another day in isolation, but today being Tuesday, we're going to go through some ground fighting drills. These are just some basic displacement drills that we can do at home to keep us in fighting form. Before we start, make sure that you've taken a space for yourself at home where you have at least a couple of meters around you, so a couple of square meters around you. If you don't have any puzzle mats like this at home, don't worry, grab a couple of yoga mats, put those together. Some soft carpet, whatever you have at home, sure is fine. Just make sure no pets or people running around where you're gonna be training so you don't bump into somebody by accident and hurt them. Okay, super simple. These drills are meant to help you move around on the ground and practice some basic techniques. Once you get back, you can see how these are incorporated into our system. If you're able to do this on soft floor and master it, you should be able to do these techniques on hard floor if an encounter were to take place on those scenarios. Okay, good. Let's get started. So let's start with something super basic. We're gonna start from this position here. I'm on the balls of my feet. And what I'm gonna do is balance myself on the balls of my feet. I'm gonna start falling back, and when I do that, my chin is gonna touch my chest. I'm gonna do a break fall to the back. Here, exhale on the way down, and come right back up. I'm not gonna use my hands to come up. As you can see, I came right back to the balls of my feet. This also helps you strengthen your core. One more time. Come right back up. And when I fall, you'll notice that I'm making my hands sort of smack the ground a couple of seconds before the rest of my back touches, but the back of my head never touches the ground because my chin is against my chest. It's very important. You don't want to smash your head against the ground. Also, you may have a tendency when you're doing this to bring your arms too high up. You don't want to do that. It's a very awkward angle for your shoulders. It's going to be a bad fall. All right, if you find yourself struggling to get back up and having to use your hands, then obviously you have to do some more core work, all right? So, with this exercise, just like every other exercise in this video, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna ask you to pause and practice something a few times on your own, and then push play again, and we'll move on. So for this exercise, you wanna try this at least 6 times, all right? Tuck chin in. Come right back up. Good.
Like, see, you may want to point out that for people with bad knees, they're gonna have to modify that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to start, there's a simple way to start. If you want, you can start from here first, just like if you're sitting down, just like this. In fact, when you do the kids class, and if you are doing this with your child, because this warm-up is perfect for a child as well. If you want to do this with your child, you can just start from this position. Tuck your chin in and come right back to here. Same thing. And go ahead and do that 6 times. That's a very easy way to start. Ideally, what we're trying to do is, if we're gonna do it from here, and from here, you'll be able to do it from a standing position and fall straight back and come right back to a standing position. Good, so that's the basic back fall. Now, we could do something else. Starting from here, I'm gonna take this foot, I'm gonna sweep it out this way, I'm gonna do a side fall. So I'm gonna curl my body in such a way, just like the previous exercise for the back fall. Starting from here for the basic, coming up to the balls of your feet. If you wanna practice a bit more core work and make sure that you're really getting that proper curling movement here. And if doing this is problematic for your knees, come into a squatting position, just doing it from here. That's also possible for the next exercise. And this next exercise, start from here. Now, as I said, you're just gonna curl your body. I was curling my body backwards to do a back fall. I'm gonna curl my body sideways, so I'm gonna do a side fall. And get this leg out of the way. Just slip to the side. As I slip to the side, I'm gonna curl my body and just do a side fall. Come right back to here. Same thing on the other side. Bring my leg in, bring my foot across, and as I fall, curl my body, protect my chin and my head, so when I fall, I'm falling sideways. This is as if someone were to throw me, someone flipped me, someone tripped me, I'm falling sideways and coming right back up and coming back to this position. So, if you want to do it in that way, the beginner's way, go ahead and pause the video, Do it at least 5 times on each side. All right? Now, if you are able to do that, come up and do it this way. Again, to the balls of our feet. A bit more challenging, a little harder on the knees. So if you have knee trouble, don't do it this way. Just skip ahead to the next one, and we'll do it that way. From this position, same thing. I'm gonna sweep my leg around and out while I curl my body and fall that way. Come right back up to this position. Now I'm gonna sweep my foot out this way and fall that way. Once you're able to master that, do it at least 5 times on each side. Go ahead and pause it now. 5 to the left, 5 to the right. And if you can't do it that way, maybe you can try it this way. From a squatting position, so it's not so hard on the knees. Once again, throw your leg out and fall and come right back up and fall and come right back up. So it's easier on the knees. You can even do it from standing position, you should be fine. Now, you'll probably see these exercises in judo, traditional jiu-jitsu, even in wrestling, because getting your legs swept out, that can happen in a fight. We want to be able to fall correctly. Getting pushed, we want to be able to fall correctly. All right, so that covers falling. Let's talk about rolling. Very simple exercise. Start from the same spot here. I'm gonna mark where I am. I'm gonna make an imaginary line here on the mat. I wanna make sure I stay on that line. For this exercise, I don't want to roll off to one side or the other, all right? Now, people ask me, why do we do shoulder rolls? How is that important for real life fighting? Actually, there's some really good reasons we want to learn how to forward shoulder roll. First of all, falling. If you get thrown, you want to be able to fall correctly. If someone actually tosses you, hip tosses you, head tosses you, does some sort of judo move, or you just fall for whatever reason during a fight, you want to go face first and put your hands down and break them. You want to curl and absorb that fall. Also, these techniques also help us reverse out of things that are being done to us, all right? And also during multiple aggressor scenarios, I'm able to maneuver my way from one aggressor to the next, or maybe even roll out and escape. We even use these types of rolls during active shooter threats, right? But that's a topic for another video. But moving on, we have that straight line. I'm gonna start in the simplest way possible, and your kids at home can follow. On all fours, I'm going to imagine a point between my 2 hands, and on that point, I'm going to place my right shoulder. To do that, I'm going to slide my hand through as if I'm trying to touch my toes on my opposite leg. So my right hand's going to reach for my left toes. My shoulder touches the mat. Now my head's in the way. I can't roll over my head. So I'm going to have to tuck my head in as if I'm looking at my belly button. Here. Now if I can see my belly button, we're good to go. I come up on my tippy toes, and my legs come over, and as I roll, I come to this position where one knee is up, one knee is down. And I roll, I just sort of bring myself back to my original starting point, and now I'm gonna try it with my left. Imaginary point in the middle of my 2 hands. Shoulder goes to that dot. See how I'm trying to reach for my toes? My hand, not really necessarily, I don't really need this head. My head's in the way, so I have to tuck it in, look at my belly button, bring my toes up, and just slowly begin to roll. One knee up, one knee down, and I return to my starting position. It is a shoulder roll. Do not, under any circumstance, confuse a shoulder roll for a barrel roll, which is basically me just putting my shoulder on the ground, then dropping and rolling on my back. That's a barrel roll. So time and place for that. And don't do a somersault. I'm not putting my head on the ground and somersaulting. That's not it either, right? Because you're very specific. Now, once I'm able to do that, try this. I'm gonna go to the edge of my space that I've chosen for ground techniques. And now what I'm gonna do is from this position, seated, I'm gonna bring my legs back until they can't go any further. All right, up to here. Now I can't go any further. I can't go any further because my head's in the way. So I'm gonna have to create my neck to one side so I can go over my shoulder. I can do it this way, or I can do it that way. It's essentially a shoulder roll, but done in reverse. So I go back, my head goes to the side, so I can bring my body over. That way, I did it this way this time. I'll do it again and bring my head to that side. As I roll back, I put my head to the side and come back to here. Very simple. Go ahead and try those a few times to right side, then left side. Do it 5 times each, and then try going backwards 5 times to your right, 5 times to your left. Once you've been able to do that, we're going to combine the two. Very easy to do. Find my spot, reach for the opposite side, head to the side, shoulder down, look at my belly button, right? Come up and over, and when I get to this point, I'm just going to reverse it. I came up this way, and I'm just going to reverse it that way. Come back exactly the same way I came. Right back to here. So I'm going to do a little bit faster so it's a bit more fluid. Start here, go through, come up to here, and roll back. Then I do the same thing on this side. Flow this way and flow back. You do that right, come back, left, come back, 5 times each side, and then push play again. We'll do the next exercise. Okay, so there's a few other exercises that we could do here. Let's try bucking, for example. So I'm going to turn so you can see how this works. In this position, we're going to buck 3 times. Now bring your feet all the way in as much as you can. If your feet are far away from your body, you're not going to get any height, and therefore you would not be able to buck your aggressor off of you. So bring your feet in just like this, and what you're going to do is with your hands up, do not use your hands at all. Keep them up here again. I'm going to buck upwards. I'm going to exhale and then bring it down, and then I'm going to do it to my left. And when I do it to my left, I'm on my shoulder, kind of looking up and diagonally, because that's where I'd be setting my opponent. Then come down, relax, and do it again to my right. Just like that. I want to make sure I can get a really good arch there, hold it for a few seconds, and then you're gonna bring it back down. You're gonna take some time to do that a few times.
Can you turn and do it?
Yeah. Take some time to do that. Actually, do it sideways so you can see the arc, the arc there. Now, you want to take some time to do each of those a few times, but then you can do it all sort of in a sequence. You can go up, left, right. Bring your legs in, make sure you get a really good arch. Here, there, and that way. All right? Make sure you're not using your hands are up, because you'd be grabbing your opponent or locking them down or grabbing a limb that's controlling a weapon, okay? Go ahead and take some time to do those at least a few times on each side, and then come back. And now we're gonna do something else. Pretty simple drill. This is something we use a lot of. This is shrimping. Now, to shrimp, we're gonna start with, make sure you have at least a couple of square meters to do this. I'm gonna start from the very edge of my space. I'm gonna bring my legs here, hands up, head up. I don't wanna leave my head flat on the ground. I can't see my opponent, I don't know what's going on. All right, and I'm not using my hands. My head's up, my hands are up, and what I'm gonna do is, as I turn my head this way and come onto my shoulder, their shoulders up, their shoulders on the ground, my hands are up, I'm gonna use my feet to push off and move my butt up this way. There it is, super simple. That's all I'm doing, all right? Now I have to return my head to the original position and do the same process, but on the other side. Bring my body this way, all right? I'm still covered. Use my legs to push up. So I'm still in the same line and come up. So as you can see, I started at that point, made a straight line all the way here. But the important thing is I was moving my head one way or the other way, but staying on that line. That's very important. This is what it would look like if we do it in one flowing motion. One way, the other way. That's shrimping. It's very simple. Once you've done that a few times, I want you to try this, and this is to really get the movement, because we don't always move as we do shrimping. In fact, you can move in different directions with shrimping. Technically, I can shrimp forward, but try this one. in this position, all you're gonna do is bring your bottom up like this, and you're in the same spot. I didn't travel anywhere. See how there's a space here in my body, and come back to here. Try that a couple of times, and then try doing it by extending one leg. Here, and then this leg. Those are techniques that we use very often for whatever reason, either to push a leg out of the way or try to capture a limb while we're on the bottom position and we have an aggressor on top. Okay, so you're gonna practice those a few times, at least 5 times right, 5 times left, then come back. Good. Now, once you've done that, let's look at a few other things that are very handy for when we're moving on the ground. This here, I'm gonna start doing it from this side first. I have someone on top of me. I want to go reach and grab underneath to grab their leg. And as I do that, I'm going to use my right hand to scoop and grab that leg. I want to send the same side leg, the bottom of my knee, as if it was going to their armpit. So if their head is here and their arms are here, I want to send this knee as if it were to one of their shoulders. All right? So I'm going to do one spinning motion. Reach under and send that leg up. And then come back to this position. Try it on this side. I'm going to reach under and grab that leg. And as I do that, the back of this knee will come up to this imaginary shoulder. I'm going to try to make it flow. I almost end up the other way. All right? Obviously, there's no aggressor here to stop my momentum. So I almost end up with my head in the opposite direction. You want to do that a couple of times. I'm going to try it from this vantage point here. Reach for that leg and send my leg up. This way. Come back to here. And that's that. Do that again, right and left, 5 times each. And then push play again. Good. Once you've done that, let's look at some really simple exercises on how to turn in place. So watch my legs. I'm gonna start from this position again. Hands up again. I'm looking at my aggressor. Now, instead of shrimping out, I'm bringing this leg as I'm gonna slip it underneath this foot. And it's gonna help me turn my body face down. So I'm here, and as I'm turning, see how I'm weaving this foot through, and then I'm ending up here. All right? I'm gonna show it to you again. This foot's gonna go under, through, and what it's allowing me to do is, in the same spot, allow me to turn my body face down. Now, if I continue this motion, it'll put me in a situation where I can come out the other way. If I were to do that process again, bring it through, I end up here, then bring my arm to here, and I end up here, and I can continue that motion over and over again until I complete the circuit. And you could do it the other way. Take this leg and weave it under here, come to here, come through here, and come up this way. That's just how to turn in situ. For those of you who have done some techniques on how to escape rear naked choke, or if someone's taking your back and you want to try to face them again, that's a really good exercise to practice there, okay? Let's talk about sitting out. Now, this is a technique that we use a lot for when we have someone, they have sprawled, and I don't want them to be able to start doing offensive techniques after they've sprawled. So their legs are here, torso's here, head's that way. This is super simple. All you want to do is have this foot replace this hand. It's very easy to explain. I'm just bringing my leg out. Very easy way to explain it right now. Start again and go this way. You see I'm sitting out and coming to here. Now that's a simplified version of what sitting out really is. When it comes to fighting, I want to make sure I'm trying to put my weight on top of my aggressor. So as I throw my foot out this way, I'm trying to bring my head out that way. In fact, I may even have captured one of their limbs. So if I feel their arms wrapped around me, I might grab here, and as I pass through, put my head up against them this way. Put some weight on them. As I capture their arm, put some weight on them. And come back to here. Capture that imaginary limb again. Come out and put some weight on them. All right? Now, there are ways that we can practice in a sequence. Try doing those basic ones a few times, right and left, and then come back to the video. Once you've done that, let's look at a few variations here. I can come up, capture, come up, and then come back out. And I would have taken their back. Capture, come up, and then come around. I would have taken their back. But you can also keep it going. You know, bring up to here, then back to here, then back to here, then back to here, and come back, and just repeat the process over again. So you get really limber, get really quick, get a lot of good flow. This is good training, it's good exercise, works your core, works your arms, and the quicker, the smoother you do these transitions, your aggressor on the ground won't notice you do that. You're gonna be so quick and so smooth with these reversals, it's gonna work to your advantage. If they see you prepping for it, shifting your weight, moving your hands around, they're gonna know what you're up to. That's gonna be a big problem. Okay, after you've done that, let's try this one. It's good core work, and it's gonna help us achieve some really basic escapes and offensive techniques while on the bottom. From here, I'm gonna pretend to reach and grab, whether it's the neck of my aggressor or the arm of my aggressor. But look, I'm off the ground. My leg is out, I'm ready to come out this way. I've posted this hand, moving out that way, and come back, relax. Come up this way, capture either a head, an arm. I could be reaching for a kimura. I could be going for a hip bump. And just come back, and come up. Come back, come up. Do that a few times right and left, come back. Good, so here's another good one. You may recognize what this is for. I'm gonna do it from this vantage point first. From this vantage point, you'll just see me bring my legs up. Like I'm doing a little abdominal exercise. That's all I'm doing. All I'm doing is bring my legs up. All right, very simple. Why am I doing that? Because I'm trying to capture, trying to bring them in for an arm bar. Could be a triangle. So let's just take one of those examples. Say it's a triangle. As I come up, there's the triangle. What I did was, as I came up, my leg comes in this way, and the back of my knee goes over my instep and locks down the triangle. But I'm doing it when I'm at the apex of that motion. Try that a few times. Great for core work. And it helps you really learn how to move your hips into it, okay? Good. If you're able to do this a few times a week, you're gonna be great on the ground. There's a lot more to this, and we'll be posting more and more exercises for ground fighting, but this should hold you over for a little bit. Keep practicing, stay with it. We're gonna get through this together.